With the railway's signal boxes comes the radio, not to play music while you shunt, but as an aid to marshalling. At Whitemoor Yards, uncoupling orders are now given over the air.
Eastern Whitemoor to Shunt Baker. When you're finished in 23, George, you will go into 22.
Over. Your message received and understood. Listening out.
Bringing about a much quicker turnaround, radio control is a must in combating the railway's oldest enemy, the fog. Up to now, old-fashioned hand-placed detonators have been fighting a lone battle. Soon, all trains may be linked by radio with signal boxes. Experiments at this, the biggest goods yard in Britain, have been completely successful. One day, perhaps, all trains may come in on time. That is, if they don't get their wavelengths mixed up. The strike that never should have happened is over, and there's steam in the boilers again. Locos that haven't moved for a fortnight are spruced up for the day's work. As the crews get back on the job to await referee Lord Justice Morris's decision on their claim, Britain hopes both sides to the dispute will put their houses in order and see that such a costly crisis does not arise again. Coal and steel are our life's blood, and the railways are the arteries along which they must flow. The arteries are working again, and Britain comes back to life. What's this, making up for lost time? If we go on like this, we'll soon be catching up with our own guards van. Stop that man. His ticket's 3 weeks old.
Button A, and the capstan does the rest. Mind, you need the dexterity of a cowboy to control the rope. Up to 15 trucks can be hauled by this ingenious method. When the completed goods train is assembled, the engine comes out of its enforced retirement to take over.
In the rail department, ladies and gents, we offer you today unique pictures of a fire brigade on a train, taken at the railway works at Horwich. The men have just received a call, thanks to the persuasiveness of our cameraman. And right away, guard, they're off to the scene of the fire. Meanwhile, you'll be interested to know that the brigade, which was formed 40 years ago and consists entirely of works mechanics, has already won 100 prizes for firefighting. Blushing coyly at such compliments, the firemen alight and connect the hose to the tank behind the engine. While we would just be thinking about it, the powerful pump is set in motion, and 350 gallons of water a minute are being poured on the flames, and they can turn out to a call in 3 minutes.
Villagers at Blackermill near Buxton, on the other hand, must find it difficult, as only one train calls at the village during the week. Yes, this is the station. He must be in a bit of a hurry. But believe me, it's no joke to have to wait a week for the next. The actual platform is very short, just long enough to accommodate all the villagers if they decide to dash up to town at the same moment. And this is the booking office and lampshade. Ah, the train, I presume. She's rather a stranger, but she's welcome. And the great weekly adventure's about to start. There go his supplies for the week. And now, mind the doors, we're off. The once-a-week express winds through some pretty country in the Peak District, but it's never quite the same to the Blackermillions. That tree, for instance, was a bush last trip. Much smaller, but much more...
Hello, who's butted in here? Oh, yes, they're laughing because they know we're the only passenger on the shortest platform of the shortest railway in England, Wingham on the East Kent Railway, which runs from here to Shepherd's Well, a distance of 8 miles. This is the 8:40 a.m., and there isn't another until 6:30 p.m. So right away, guard, let's get going. At risk of being knocked down by a pedestrian, the train, like the chicken, crosses the road. And now for the mad dash through the Kentish countryside.
From steel to stone, to the house with the turrets. You can't see much in that, nor can you see much in the tunnel over which the house is built. The house is at the north entrance to the Clayton Tunnel on the main London-Brighton line, and the track is about 50 feet below. The battlemented towers are a landmark for miles around. "300 trains a day pass under the house. That doesn't give the railwayman living in it much time for reflection, but as you see, he does his best.
To some, the only point of view about Manchester is the rain. But we're more concerned with the train. And here's the terminus of the first railway passenger service in the world. The station is much the same as it was over 100 years ago. A clock and oil lamp were comparatively recent additions, but formerly a sundial served as a timetable. At this booking office, Great-Grandpop bought a ticket for the Rocket Express and marched up and down this platform. In those days, the sleepers were made of stone, and the passengers must have been pretty hardy too. The brawny arm of many a blacksmith helped to make the first Manchester Railway. But the point of view of this...
And now, this way, please. We're off to Port Victoria, an old Kentish railway station, to meet Mr. Stephen Hills, who runs it. Yes, Mr. Hills doesn't only punch tickets, he can pull signal levers as well, and he's been doing it for 39 years. The station was once a royal landing stage from the continent. This way, please. The usual daily traffic is 2 passenger and 2 goods trains, and maybe the latest yarn. If you want a porter, you get the station master, who also fixes the signal lamps, although it is a job above his station. Ah, now he's miking. Between jobs, he does a spot of shunting, and there isn't a finer shunter on the station. And when it comes to coupling, he's the cat's whiskers. It's a single line track, and the old all-clear pass key is still handed to the driver. As a coupler, he's going to have a coupler them there, over there. Little man, you've had a busy day.
Whatever pleasure you can get out of travelling in Britain is twice the fun. We all know what some train journeys are like: stuffy carriages, standing room only, one tunnel after another. So when the porter's given a final polish, let's take a ride on Britain's latest train, the Pullman that gives you a window on the world, the Devon Bell. These folks are not only travelling through some of Britain's loveliest countryside, through rolling farmlands to the West Country, but they can see it all in comfort. This is travel as it should be. You can even make faces at those common trains that go by without pricking your neck. Favourite drink on the Devon Bell is called the Spirit of Drake. Drink enough of it and you'll see 4 times as well. How to see England. This is travel on the right tracks. French windows.
For the rest of us, there's a more comfortable way of reaching the heights. 3,560 feet to the top of Snowdon, and you do it sitting down. The only railway in Britain still unnationalised, it runs from Easter to mid-October, snow and weather permitting. Return fare, 10 bob. And there are always more customers than seats. 50,000 last year to be exact, so let's take ours. Powerful steel cogs prevent you running backwards, so just relax. Built in 1896 on a Swiss model, the railway has a track of 4.5 miles and gets you to the top in just over an hour. During the war, the summit was used by the Navy as a radar station, and the RAF had a beam station there. This little train did real national service. Imagine carrying a kit bag up here after a week's leave. Mother, what's that funny thing? It's all right, dear. It's only stupid men playing trains. You'll get used to it. The going's getting tougher. In the steepest places, a gradient of 1 in 5, and it's hard work on the engine. But for all its smallness, it's more powerful than many a mainline engine. Steady, old girl. Easy does it. Oh dear, she's stopping. But it's only for a drink, and wouldn't you if you had to climb this far? Enid's very feminine. Just a little care and attention, and she's off again. Now we're really in the wilds, with magnificent country on either side. Whoever thought of running a railway up here? She's almost there. From the summit, a magnificent view can be obtained of Scotland, England, and Ireland. Spotlight on the new Battle of Waterloo. The battle against time to get new lines laid without upsetting the passenger timetable of one of London's busiest stations. Here's how it was done. Once the old and faulty track is removed, pre-assembled units of track are lowered into place from a machine running along the next set of rails. Each unit is 60 feet long and weighs 4¼ tons. 4 wagons do the job, 3 carrying new track, 1 taking the old track away. Watch how the machine drops its load perfectly into position. Pathe Pictorial filmed the new Battle of Waterloo one Monday, as busy a day as any in the week. Yet the whole job of putting down 840 feet of track, 260 yards of it, took 40 men only 3 hours. With the track snugly in place, it's only a few minutes' work for gangers to follow up and hammer home the bolts. A case of a little ingenuity going a long way to ensure that the trains go through.